trust a bitch that don't trust her own face. I'm talking about makeup. You look like a drag queen. I guess that's a thing. Why are you so ashamed of the face that God gave you? And what I find so hypocritical is that so many of these women want to tell other women what to do. You're the reason why I stopped shaving under my arms. I live to disgust you. I live to disgust you, bitch. Yo, yes I do. Oh, yes I do. Oh, yes I do. Everyone seems to think that the appearance is so important. There's no integrity in that. There's no character in that. I'll take interesting over beautiful any motherfucking day. I take interesting over attractive any motherfucking day. And there are people that are good to look at, but that's about it. And if you happen to be really attractive and have various talent, well, just know that all that people really care about is how attractive you are, because they can't let that go. Because this world is just the surface, it's just the surface, it's just the surface. But I represent the shadow world, honey. That's why I look like this. That's right. Hold on. Do I do this? Okay. Do I leave it like this? I don't think it's gonna stay. Probably not. Let's see here. No. Okay. Amy. Okay. Hold on. Let's like back up a little bit. No, I can't back up anymore. Okay. I'm just gonna come down a little bit. There we go. I stopped shaving when I was in college because I was a raging alcoholic that didn't bathe. So why would I shave? And I probably would have started back, but I kept getting so much flack from a bunch of bitches. So I said, hell with those bitches. To hell with those bitches. So, if I sound like a misogynist, it's because I can't stand what women have voluntarily signed themselves up for. They don't have to do anything, but they tell themselves that they must. And it's all for the purpose of lust. They want attention from men. They want validation from men. And no, I'm not a feminist. Why do I have to be a feminist to talk like this? I'll never understand it. But I am a lot like Camille Paglia. I hate materialistic culture. I think it marked the end of whatever bullshit America has sold you. about how we're so great and we're so free and we're so liberated. Hardly. When everybody thinks that they have to look this way or dress that way to be taken seriously, you want to say that that's free. And then they want to act like they're so rebellious. Oh, they're challenging the system and the status quo. Oh, don't you know? Yeah, don't you know? Yeah, don't you know? They're all the same. Oh, I like that. How can you challenge anything when you're all doing the same thing? Your political adversary is not your adversary. Nobody's your adversary. You have enjoyed the lie, 'cause it helps you get by. Otherwise, you'd probably cry and never stop, you never stop, you never stop. Once you realize that everything that you think that you've got is a cope for something that you haven't got. And I'm sure that I'm doing this in some kind of way, but at least I ask myself that question every day. And I really wish that other people had this level of awareness, but they'd have to care first. And I just don't think that they do. When it comes to improving upon you, it's so much easier to just point the finger at somebody else. It's so much easier to say that this person or that group or this race or that generation or this political party is what's screwing it up for people like me. They won't let me just be free. No, that's you. They won't let you be free. Yeah. I don't understand how anybody could possibly think that we're free when we have to pay taxes. That's kind of obvious that, like, when they call this a free country, I'm like, okay, so why is everything so expensive? Like, why are people killing themselves because they can't pay their bills? Like, to say that health insurance costs an arm and a leg, that's not really a metaphor, you know? Because when everything is, like, outrageously expensive, and it's like, you can't, like, anything that you own is going to have so many liabilities, you know? It's like, you can't own anything without it costing you way more than whatever it is to already have that, you know? Like, you know, like a car, for example. I love my car so much. And I know that that makes me a hypocrite. And not only because I say that women shouldn't drive, but because I bitch about the Industrial Revolution and I bitch about machines. But a car is a machine, right? But I don't think that, like, cars are anywhere near as, I don't think that they're, like, a source of behavioral modification. You know what I mean? Like, people use cars as a tool, you know, to get from point A to point B. Literally, that's what they do. And it's also really freeing to have a car in certain ways. Like, it allows you this mobility that's really, like, well, I guess I am, like, a total hypocrite. Maybe I should just kill myself, right? I enjoy my car. I enjoy it. But I definitely understand, like, the hypocrisy of it. And I understand that it's, like, something that weighs me down in some sort of regard. You know? So if I didn't have a car, like, I'd have to find rides to get where I wanted to go, or I'd have to, you know, find another means of transportation, you know, like a bicycle, or, you know, my legs, I could walk. It'd probably take me like 3 hours to get to work, probably longer than that. But, you know, it's like all these things that we think we need, these things that we think make our life more convenient, it actually just adds on more complications, you know? So what happens when, you know, if I have a flat tire? What happens, you know, if my car starts acting up? I gotta take it to the shop, and that's like a $500 repair, you know? Like, of course, everybody's complaining about the gasoline situation, how outrageous that is. So it's just like there's so many downsides to, like, having all the stuff that we have. But I do really enjoy driving, though. I'll totally admit that. So there you go. There's my hypocrisy for you. But I don't know, though. The smartphone situation, though, is something else. It's like, I'm not going to be a hypocrite in that specific way. I just refuse. At least there's not a screen in this car. Because a lot of cars have screens. You know, like, there's that special feature in many vehicles now where, like, there'll be a screen, like, on the dashboard somewhere that'll, like, show you if you're about to hit something. Like, that's good for women, right? It really is. This coworker of mine, she backed into somebody yesterday because she wasn't paying attention. She's on her phone. But anyway. I just really hate screens. I hate screens more than all these red pill people think they hate feminism. You'll never hate feminism as much as you think you do. It seems like everything. It's just for identity. Identity. Everything doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Because if you think about it, and you know I love to think about it, the person that I was 3 weeks ago is not the person that I am today. So I could feel so convicted in whatever I think. And then it all goes black, yeah, it all goes black, yeah, it all goes black, yeah, it all goes black. And I don't know who I am. Dude, that's so creepy. That is creepy. That was really creepy. So on cue though, right? So on cue. But I used to be a lot of things that I no longer associate myself with. But that's okay, it's still a part of me. Like this, for example. That is a Freemason symbol. Bill Wilson. Pretty sure he was a Mason. Founded Alcoholics Anonymous. I used to be a hardcore alcoholic. I think I talked about that in the beginning of the video. That's why I stopped shaving, right? But, yeah, like, I used to be the type of person that got tattoos, you know? I used to be the type of person that drank to the point of extinction. I used to be the type of person that thought that self-destruction was funny. I'm dying, isn't it funny? I'm committing suicide. A really slow suicide. And everybody asks me, are you trying to die? And I said, how'd you know? How'd you know? Because there was a lot going on inside my head, and I didn't understand it. So I just drank and drank and drank and drank and drank until I blacked the fuck out. And that was my solution to every problem that I conjured for the purpose of drinking even more. So, you know, I don't do that anymore. And I know that that's not the solution. And it'll never be the solution. Because it'll never solve any kind of problem. It'll just create even more problems. But I still understand that. I totally get why I did that. And I think a lot of people, they don't understand why they were where they were. And so how could they possibly understand why they are where they are? But I guess that's why I am the way that I am in regards to the mental illness thing and all the stuff that I sing about. I'm probably the best polemic around, because there ain't nobody as vitriolic as me, baby. They're all of the world. They want to pretend that they're not. But they use all these demonic devices. And they give in to every psyop. And then they want to act like they're so red-pilled or whatever. You can't be a red-pill person on Twitter. I'm sorry. You can't. You gotta take the ruby pill, baby. fun. But I promise it won't be too much fun. And you won't be able to gloat about it because everybody will just call you a schizophrenic. I take the ruby pill so I don't have to take medication. The ruby pill is sparkly, it's covered in sequins, and it spins around, round and round and round and round. And there's so much information that makes you nauseous. But as long as you acknowledge that God exists, you'll be fine. Every time I've been paranoid, it's 'cause I forget God. Every time I get so upset that I wanna die, it's because I forgot God. But not the case anymore. And don't get me wrong, I still get sad. I get so sad. But it's okay, 'cause Jesus wept, yeah, and Peter wept, yeah, and Paul wept and wept and wept and wept and wept, so it's okay. If you cry enough that people think you're gay, well, if you're a man anyway, and you know that I am. Well, here's the thing, I might have a soul of a man, but since I'm still a woman, I can cry, and nobody will call me a faggot. Okay, so it's okay. No, but women are known for crying. It's just they don't understand why they're crying. I've always known why I'm crying. Like, it's something that I analyzed. And I think that that's the issue with women, is that they have all these emotions. They don't know what to do with them. So instead of analyzing them and trying to figure out what's going on, they just assume that there's either something wrong with them, so they take pills and they go to a therapist or whatever, and then they're fed all these lies, or they just blame somebody else and they act crazy and they project and all that. So both of those options are not good, okay? I'm trying to think of like a solution here, because it occurred to me today, I was cleaning the shake machine and I was thinking to myself, man, what if there isn't a solution to any of these problems? And what if I'm just as much of an idiot as everybody else on the internet, and I want to act like I can solve problems, but what if I can't? What if I'm just as much of a screw up and everything that I say is an act of futility, and but not to be too morbid or anything, but I just feel like, yeah, a lot of these issues, like just thinking back on the history of mental illness, it's like, if this has been going on since the beginning of time, and we have all this information, and we have more access to information, and we have more access to actual solutions, and we have more ability or capability, which one? Doesn't matter, just keep going. We have more of an ability to communicate with other people. So we put our heads together and we come up with solutions, right? If that's more and more of a possibility because of technology, and because of, the printing press and the radio waves and media and all that shit, like, we have way more potential to be able to solve problems, and yet we are more fucked than we have ever been, then obviously, like, maybe there isn't a solution, and maybe, like, we should just stop. Because I feel like we're just shitting ourselves, I mean, that my solution is to read the Psalms, right? But I don't think that anybody is going to listen to me in that regard. It's like I was telling this friend of mine at work about, how reading the Psalms really helped ease my anxiety. And I haven't had crippling anxiety ever since I started reading them. But that's also because of my schizophrenia. I'm on a higher frequency, so I was able to receive that and have that positively impact me. Whereas I think that most people are not on that level, and so they can't receive the grace of God. They can't understand that. And, you know, the problem with a lot of Christians, I think, is that they don't have discernment. So, you know, while they like to pick and choose things that Jesus said and things that Paul said and completely disregard the Old Testament altogether, you know, I feel like a lot of them are just really, really misguided. You know, many of them are talking about, like, you know, Christian nationalism and shit like that. That's so fucking stupid, dude. You cannot have a cross in one hand and the American flag in the other, dude. There's a reason why Jesus said, like, that you have to leave everything behind. Okay? Like, when he found, when he found those dudes that were, like, fishing, they left their father. They left their father and followed Jesus. Okay? So, people don't understand, like, it's a very sacrificial religion. Which is why I don't think that, like, Americans, like, really get it. So it's like the Amish are able to have family because they understand the scripture and they understand their purpose in working and providing for their family. Like, they get that. And so they didn't choose the world. I feel like a lot of times when people don't vibe with their families, it's because it's like one of them is too much of the world, you know? So, you know, like my parents, like I'm the black sheep of my family. I know I've mentioned this before, but it's like, yeah, they're so vanilla. They do whatever they're told. They follow the rules. They don't question anything. They watch TV all the time, you know, so they do not understand my existence at all. But they haven't really tried, you know? I have gone out of my way to understand the way that they are, and I love them so much. I really do. But I love them from a distance. Like, I appreciate them, but at the same time, like, I know that we'll never see eye to eye on anything, right? Well, I don't think the Amish have that problem at all, because, like, they don't have that world influence. So there's no divisiveness whatsoever, you know? I mean, I'm sure they fight sometimes, but it's like when you have the scripture as your foundation and you're doing God's will, or like what you believe to be God's will every single day, and you're totally committed to that way of life, then how is there any room for conflict? You know? It's like they just got it, man. And I'm so jealous. I think that I am gonna, like, pay a little visit to the Amish community. And not because I'm thinking about becoming Amish, but because I hope to, like, try to incorporate a lot of what they do, you know? I wonder if, like, my Orthodox friends, I wonder if we can take a little field trip out to Etheridge and see how they live. You know, a bunch of people that I go to church with are, like, homesteaders, so it's like they've got it made, too. Like, they know what the fuck they're doing. I feel like it's just people that are way too trusting of the world. Like, they're the ones that are most upset that they're getting screwed over by the same world that they have believed up until, you know, COVID, really. It's sad that it takes something like that to prove that you can't trust these motherfuckers that run things, but alas.